A man is told to go marry a woman who will be unfaithful to him, not warned after the fact, not left to discover it slowly, told in advance, before the wedding, before the vows, before a single day of shared life. And he does it anyway. That is not a story about naivety. The text is clear. Hosea understood what he was walking into, which means the real question is not whether he knew. The question is why a person who knew would still choose to go. Hosea was, by every indication, an ordinary man, a prophet in the northern kingdom of Israel, living in a period of political fracture and religious drift, a period when the people he lived among had built comfortable arrangements with other gods and called it practical. He was not wealthy. He was not powerful. He was a man who spoke difficult things in a climate that preferred comfortable ones. And then came the command, "Go, take a wife of unfaithfulness and have children with her." The woman's name was Gomer. She may have already carried a reputation when he found her, or the reputation came later. The text leaves that particular detail open, and that ambiguity matters because it means the point is not about her history. The point is about what he did knowing what was coming. They married, they had children, and then, in stages the text traces with unusual plainness, Gomer left. She pursued other men. She sought from them the things she apparently believed Hosea could not give her: security, attention, something she may not have been able to name. The account does not soften this. It does not explain her motivations charitably or harshly. It simply records the departure. The natural reading here is that this is a story about a wronged man, and the expected arc is his eventual vindication. That is the shape a betrayal story usually takes. But that is not where this goes. Gomer, at some point, runs out of options. The text places her in a position of absolute dependency, sold or reduced to servitude, standing in a place where people are bought and sold. And Hosea goes there. He does not send someone, he goes himself. He pays 15 pieces of silver and some grain, a modest sum, enough to purchase what had once been freely given and then freely thrown aside, and then he brings her home. There is no recorded confrontation, no accounting of grievances, no speech about what she owes him for the humiliation. He speaks to her with restraint and with something that reads less like forgiveness extended grudgingly and more like a door that had simply never been closed. Here is where the story reframes itself. Because the text is explicit that this was never only a marriage. The prophet's life was being used as an enacted message, a living demonstration of something the people around him were supposed to recognize in their own story. They had done to their God what Gomer had done to Hosea. They had taken what was freely given and gone looking for it elsewhere. And the message being delivered through this one man's private anguish was that the response to all of that was not abandonment. It was the same thing Hosea did in the marketplace. A return, a payment, an open door. What remains genuinely uncertain is what Gomer herself felt. The text does not give her an interior life, and that is a real gap. Her silence is either editorial restraint or something we simply cannot recover. The sources and the full text of Hosea are linked in the description.